Well, hey there, everybody. This is Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Welcome to Southeast Louisiana. Let's go do some bees at the last minute. All right, folks, it's February 13th, 2023. The season is beginning. We're getting on into the month. We're seeing swarms over toward the Abbey. We're seeing a lot of activity. We're seeing drone cells in my one colony. I have not been back to that colony. The first chance I get to go, it's rainy, cold. Stayed in the 40s over the weekend with rain all day Saturday. We got a beautiful day today. It was 30 degrees this morning. It's gotten up into the 60s this afternoon. It's back down again. And I want to do something really quick because I just want to get those bees out of Ole Trusty. Ole Trusty is my swarm trap that I've had for many years. And one of the first ones I ever had has always caught bees. And caught bees last year. I didn't get them out in time. I had caught bees in it, but then I emptied them out and I set it over here. And of course, summertime I get a swarm of bees in it. I don't have time to really move them. I'm doing honey, then I'm on vacation. I get off vacation. By then it's too late to just disrupt them and tear them up before spring. I mean, there's no reason to just tear, and really I don't have to tear much up but move frames over. The problem is it's 8 frames, 12 inches deep. Meaning it's 40 liters with 8 frames, and they're going to build comb on the bottom. So I would have had to cut all that off, and it's just not something I wanted to do for them going into fall. I wanted to give them just move the trap. So I moved, it was back here, so I moved the trap down the road 8 miles or so at a friend's. I left it there for probably 3 months, brought it back, and it was super heavy. Got it back here, put it on a stand, and just have not gotten the bees out because, again, I didn't want to disrupt them. I brought it back in November. So the weather being up and down, I didn't want to disrupt them, but I think I'm good with it now. We may have a few more freezes left in us, but you know, in the end, I think the days warm up enough where they'll be just fine. So last minute trip here, just want to see if we can do it before dark. Let's get after it real quick. Let's shoot a video. Let's go do some bees. Let's open up a colony and dig in it enough to get them moved over for the first time in 2023 here in my bee yard. Let's go do it. When I was out here earlier, the bees were really flying heavy. I mean, they were really getting after it. They have calmed down a lot. The sun is going down, so we need to get busy. Let's get Ole Trusty opened up. I don't know what we're gonna find. Your guess is as good as mine. They could have very well swarmed. I don't know. They might be packed. They might be starving. I don't know. They're still heavy. I know that, so they're not starving. But they were heavy. That was 2 weeks ago, so maybe they're not. We'll see. We're gonna see what we find. Let's go look. So first thing we got to do is move this out of the way and put a box in its place. This top board is simply to keep the rain off of it. So what I like to do is move it out of its place somewhere where I can work it, and then put a box beside it where it's going to go so any foragers can come back. Oh gosh, it's still loaded. My goodness, that thing's still heavy. Oh my goodness. Alright, so we're going to move it here. We're going to put a box in this spot. This is one of the this is a Hilco box. It's got 3/4 on one side, 3/8 on the other. Bought this off of somebody. It's a nice bee castle. Waxed it. It's got stung in the hand. And I'll put a frame in there. And we'll see what we can figure out. All right, so I'm going to put y'all right here. And I'm going to smoke this colony. It's got multiple entrances. I'm actually going to smoke it pretty good. They have propolized this entrance up pretty good. Ole Trusty's kind of rotten. I'm going to snap and pop it, so I want to smoke them good because they're not going to be happy when I do that. All right. Man, some jokers are stingy all of a sudden. I don't see a lot of bees in here. I mean, I see a cluster, don't get me wrong. They may have, this colony very well could have swarmed during the end of summer into the fall. They very well could have, because they were packed, and I just left them. They are quite irate, so I did put my gloves on. They're not happy. Can't blame them though. Just really want to not. Now, if I get in here and it gets too bad and I'm tearing them up, I'm putting them back together and we'll do it another day. Because I don't think I'm in a situation where I'm going to have any early swarms out of this from the looks of the population. See, this is what I'm afraid of. Right there. That's exactly what I was afraid of. Was tearing stuff up. But you can see they've built that in. So what I'm going to do is get this trimmed off quick and in a hurry. And I can guarantee you the whole colony's like that because it was in here for a long time. So with the hive tool, I'll trim this honey off into a bucket. Unfortunately, I think we're going to have to do that with brood comb soon, but find out. I hate to get honey dripping. Same with this one. And that comb is crossed just a little bit, but we've got to hurry up. Alright, let's see what else we got here. I'm going to put a little smoke on them. I hate to do that because I would like to see the queen as I go in and out of here. I don't have my glasses, so it's going to be difficult. But now we're home free. Just got to pull and trim, pull and trim. Hope we don't tear up too much. Piece of comb under there. Yep. So they're loaded with honey. Their stores are doing fine. What you have to also remember too is something people forget about is that honey is also part of your thermal or their thermal controls. So how the honey is situated in here is going to make a difference, since it's going to be a wide open colony now. So just hope we don't run into the queen on that bottom burr comb. Still more honey. So I'll probably situate this on the outside of the next, start putting it toward the outside. Because I do want to give them the opportunity to have thermal honey as a thermal barrier on the outsides. What I'm running into is the comb is crossed in the bottoms. It's not making for a good situation. I'm easing it out. I don't want to hurt a queen. Alright, here we go. Now we're getting into, and of course I don't have my glasses. Can't even see if I see a queen. Gotta be so careful now. Oh, I see a nice sheet of brood, guys. See a nice sheet of brood. And it comes out easy. Okay, good, good, good. I hate dropping it, but there you go. Wow. Same on the other side. All right. The comb on the bottom is not so bad anymore, thank goodness. I don't see any old swarm cells either. I'm gonna cut this comb off on here because there's a lot of patches where there's bees hanging out. I don't want to drop the queen in the bucket or run into her. You might ask if I'm worried about robbing. I'd say yes. With all this honey, I'm worried about robbing. They seem to have calmed down some. Alrighty. I'm getting a little ornery now again. Oh, a really nice brood. The question is there a queen in here? Probably was on that comb that just dropped. Let's take this last frame out. Oh, Trusty's giving up. Did not want to do that. All the bees just fell off. There's a box of bees there. That's a big old pollen frame, so we're going to put that in. That'll be right. And we'll get my honey frame and a foundation. I'm going to dump some bees in here. Let's see if we can hate shaking them up like that. I'm gonna have to fix this. So they're in there. We'll put a lid on them. Alright, I gotta. So they're getting accustomed to the new entrance. The old entrance was up top. As you can see, they're all flying in this vicinity. They're looking for their entrance. It used to be right here. And you can see they're all flying around. Now these have settled. I did put an entrance reducer in. And I'm just gonna let them go on in. I got bees over here. I want to be sure I don't have a queen in there. I didn't spill any that I could tell. Like drop a bunch. The only ones that drop in the box. So we were looking at 6 frames of bees, not near as big as the other one as it was. I'm wondering whether that thing, it did get treated over at my friend's house. He did treat it with oxalic acid in the winter when it was cold. I don't know if they dwindled down or maybe they swarmed late. I don't know. They were strong when we went over there, but they were mostly just heavy. They had a lot of bees, but they were heavy, like loaded with honey. Because what happened is they swarmed right at the end of spring, beginning of summer, when the flow was still coming in off the tallow. So they filled their box up, and I just left them, to be honest with you. And they stayed very busy with a lot of bees. So I let them roll and put them out there in the fall. So I don't think they swarmed. I think maybe they just dwindled. It was 8 frames. There was 5 to 6 good frames of bees. So good chance it's just a normal winter dwindle down. They look good. I really would have liked to see the queen, but I had to go take my glasses to the shop today. Hopefully they have them back soon. And I didn't have my readers on, so I couldn't really tell. I'm gonna scope out this box and be sure I don't have a queen, and then we'll move on. Just a little bit of disorientation. Their entrance used to be up here. They'll figure it out. It's a lot better than it was. Well, alrighty there, folks. I think that's going to be it. I went back in the swarm box and looked very carefully. There were 2 small patches of bees. I did not see a queen. I'll double check with my flashlight to make sure, or they may have already walked out. Dumped them out on the lid, didn't see any sign of a queen in there. Now that last frame I pulled, I had dumped a lot of bees in there, and I dumped that whole thing in there. She could have very well been in that. So I'm not seeing real good with my glasses broken, but you know, I can't think of her not being in there. We moved everything over nice and carefully. The worst thing could have happened was she could have been rolled. Again, another good reason not to be doing things, but we're almost out of this whole winter phase, if you want to call it that, for what we've had. Now, it is 6 days after I put that second swarm box up. I just got a text from the guy that owns the property. It looks like there's, at least at a minimum, some scouts going in and out. Check it out.
Bees are flying in and out, Mike.
Now, I don't know, it's already cool in the evening. When it gets cool, these hives, the entrances slow way down to like 4 or 5 at a time. So I don't know what that is. That could be just scouts. Looks like scouts to me. But he said they're coming in and out. But it might be just scouts going in and out. We'll see. I'll go by there maybe tomorrow after work and we'll see. February 13th, if there's a swarm in there and it's set only 6 days ago, that'd be pretty amazing for me. Anyway, I wanted to show y'all something. Y'all remember this colony that we were concerned with all the beetles? Now, I'm not going to go through the beetle traps right now. I don't want to disturb them terribly, but I opened this to check on the fondant, and I actually want to show you how this thing has exploded in about 3 weeks. There's still a couple beetles I see, but they had already started building burr comb up here that I just scraped off, and they're solid wall to wall. These are 9 frames. I need to put a 10th in here and then get a box on this thing, but they're doing good. I don't see any beetles in that sheet though, but I'm gonna put this back on. What do you think about that? They fooled me. I thought they were weak. These things were just brooded down real good. Bee season's here, folks. Bee season is here. I think we got her, guys. I really do. We'll go back in and check, see what we can figure out. But I got to give them time to settle down and see what's going on. So what we have, 5 to 6 frames of brood. That's a good size right now. I don't like my hives exploding, pouring over the sides at this time of year. And unfortunately, there's a few that were flying earlier. It looked like they might be that way. I don't like that because that puts the pressure on for the splits earlier and earlier. I'd rather have everything equalized, and I might try and do a little equalization this year, just to move brood to weaker ones and all that, and kind of break some stronger ones down. But that one looked right on time. I think they'll be better off in that box. We'll see. We'll check back in maybe a week or so. We'll go in, make sure we got the queen still laying in there. She has some beautiful brood, so hey, that's a plus. All right, guys, I'm gonna call it a day. I gotta go in. It's Barry's Best Honey. I'm Mike, and I do bees. Thank you so much for your support and for watching this channel. I appreciate every single one of you guys. Y'all have a wonderful, wonderful evening, and may God bless you. We'll see y'all later.